Good morning, FlossTube. It's Cowgirl Kate, or at least what's left of me after last week's chaos. But I'm so happy to be here today. Finally get to catch up with you guys. Yeah, I've missed you all. I've had a chance to watch a few videos, but the great thing about this whole FlossTube idea is there's more and more people all the time, and it's just hard to keep track of everybody. But I'll get there. I'll get there, especially with winter coming, and there's typically a lull in there between, well, harvest and then calving season. So I'm hoping I'll get caught up in amongst all those wonderful updates that you all have been doing. So without further ado, what's been going on out here in my La La land? You can see the foster kitties behind me. They figured out how to crawl on the bed today, so they think they're pretty hot stuff. I've also locked them in the room with me while I'm recording so I could keep an eye on them, make sure I know what they're doing, because they get into mischief if they're not supervised. So you can totally see how that might happen. But they're doing great. Snitzel, the little white one, he had a round of sickness and I had to give him some antibiotics for a couple of days, but you can see he's tearing around like a lunatic now. 100% better. Panini is the little calico one, and then Chowder is the black and white one that's playing with a little, I think it's a padlock to a diary or something. I don't know, just a little toy thing or whatever. But he found that and he's been carrying it around this morning. Whatever. Anyway, they're doing good. They're doing good. So, on to other farming updates. We got the chopping done for corn silage. That took all of Labor Day weekend. So, this past weekend was getting things updated in some of the barns. My husband was dealing with that, and I went and ran amok and went and saw my sister. So I had a fun day yesterday. And now today it's all back to work for the shop. So never a dull moment around here. Today's September 12th, is also going to be the release date for King Cedric of the North. You've seen him, little bits of him in earlier videos. I just had a very little bit done of him. I've been working on him lately, and also Hexus Arachnus, the witch that I have in my store. So I guess I could show you what he looks like now. I'm still working on his hair. I'm hoping to finish that. But I had to see what his crown looked like. And this is how it has played out. Let's see if I can get a good zoom in there. And this is how it finally will look like on the stitched pattern. The beads that you see up here, these are bugle beads, and they're twisted. I chose the twisted ones because they look more like an icicle than what the straight ones did. It was just a different effect. But Mill Hill will sell straight bugle beads in that size, but they're not twisted. I found these at Hobby Lobby. I know Michael's has them. They come in a little tube like this. Bead Treasures. Let's see if I can get that to show up. Bead Treasures was the brand, and you can see they're kind of they have a twist to them, so they look like an icicle. But I've seen other brands of them before. Bead stores carry them. They're pretty common bead, but I did notice when I was going through the supply, whatever, that Mill Hill does not carry them. So They have straight ones, but they don't have twisted ones. So it's really, you know, up to you what you'd rather have. Some of the other bling I wanted to mention for Snitzel jumped down. For King Cedric. He has a scepter that he holds in, and it has a crystal for the top of it. The crystal is this. Let's see if I can get it in there. It looks like that. And this is also Bead Treasures. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I know it's online. It's a Swarovski crystal. And the size is 22 by 15 Baroque Pendant Crystal AB. And that stands for Aurora Borealis Finish, which is that kind of fiery kind of look to it. And this is what is going to rest on top of the scepter that he's holding. So yeah, it looks very northern crystal kind of stuff. Other crystals and stuff that he calls for. We might as well just go through the whole thing, right? Because, you know, why not? He will have this Mill Hill treasure. If I can get it up there. He will have that one. And that is used to like pin the cloak up on his shoulder. So I thought that was kind of a fun thing. Already attached in his crown. Get that over there again. You can see he's got two different snowflakes. One is large and one is small. Those are also from Mill Hill, and it's all on the directions. So, you know, there's no worries, you know, there as far as what will all go down for that. He also has crystal drops. Now in the pattern, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, forgive me if I get it wrong, but I think he calls for at least 13 crystal drops. Ooh, there's a fly in here. Now I have put on the directions that he will have options. Now you can either use the Mill Hill, they have blue ones, and they have the crystal AB finish ones, and they will all look great. They look amazing, whatever you would decide to choose. The option I decided to go for was something that I picked up at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They carry this stuff. I'm guessing that Joann's, places like that, bead stores, they will also carry that. These are the treasures that I have picked up. There. That looks good. These are the ones that I have picked up for him. There is their tag. And they're kind of an Aurora Borealis, but not a whole lot. They got some blue on them, they got some gray, and they got some crystal. So let's see if I can get a really good. There. So I thought they looked really good with him, and I think this string was maybe $2.99. And then if you hit, you know, a half off sale like they always have, oh, excuse me, someone's crawling on my leg, then, you know, you even get it cheaper. So, you know, I do support the LNS idea like you wouldn't believe. That's where I get 90% of my fabrics and Mill Hills, all that stuff. But for the stuff that is just too expensive, I usually have to find an alternative, and so if that's what I'm going to use, then I, you know, would pass that information along. So these are the crystals that I've decided to go with. But again, Mill Hill makes a great blue one, they make a great crystal one, and those would look equally amazing wherever they're needed. It's just, I think he calls for 13 of those crystals, so that might add up and you might want a more cost-effective option. So those are the ones that I have opted for, I guess. Other crystals that he calls for, ooh, goodness, I'm dropping stuff everywhere, are these. Let me get that in there real good. They're kind of a bluish, purpley fire polish, little round crystal, and that'll go on the swords, the hilt of the sword. And he also calls for, where did I put that? I think I cut them all. No, I didn't. They're here. He calls for 4mm Swarovski crystals, or crystal elements or whatever. And again, Mill Hill sells blue ones, and they sell crystal ones. These are what I used for his crown, and they are this. You can see I left some on the string, but I used some already. Brilliance by Bead Treasures. Well, get that in there, right? And they're just 4mm bicones. You may choose something different, and that's totally cool, because after all, this is going to hang on your wall. So it's all good. But for the ones that I actually used in the model, it is this kind. Let's see if I can get that to read it. There is the information. So, not too intense on far as where to find stuff for the king here, but I also wanted to talk about some other things that I have found in my bling hunting expeditions, I want to say, and that is sequins. This is a rather untapped resource, but I feel that they could add a lot to a cross-stitch design, especially because they're easy to frame. Ooh, that doesn't get away. They're easier to frame, and because they're not so big and three-dimensional, they're easier to frame. And they come in a million different shapes and sizes. And if you were to tack them down with a bead, I mean, it'd be shiny. So I think that's an untapped resource, and I'm going to see if I could have a little fun with that. Maybe in upcoming designs. But this bag here, let me get it in closer. That. I picked this up for Walmart. It was a little over $2. But if you want to look at this a little more carefully, maybe the camera will pick it up, but right there where my finger is pointing, there, if you can see in there, there are some sequins in there that look like cogs and gears. And let's see if I can find another one that's even tinier. Right there. That one. Now that would work perfectly for Pocket Watch Pixie, because it is a little gear shape. And you could just tack that down with a little tiny petite bead and you'd be set. So this is also another resource for the gears and cogs. You never know what you might find, and there are these two. These are just discs, and I grabbed them because they were on sale, but I'm thinking, for some upcoming designs, this might be just the thing. And then I got this big tub. And you can see I've opened it already. And what the issue I ran into was that I had to make a jar because I couldn't get them all back down in there. However, they pack them at the factory or whatever. I couldn't do it, so I had to put them all in a jar, and there's another jar yet in the cupboard that come out of this box. So, yikes. You get a lot of sequins in here. And they're all different shapes. But it was kind of like a magpie thing, like I was just kind of going a little crazy. Digging through here, finding stuff that might, you know, be just the thing for some certain things. Now for hexes, and that would be the witch, the bigger witch with the spider. If you were to certainly choose the either buttons or charms or, you know, things of that nature to put on her, you know, that certainly would look awesome. But I have noticed that there are stars in like several different sizes. I'm just taking this open here. There are stars in several different sizes. So I'm just going to kind of let's see where I can. You know, this is hard working backwards. I'm just going to say it right now. There. And there's one that's even tinier than the blue one that I'm holding up. But they would look great in her bling or whatever. Or maybe in the sky or something. You know, they're just a... What's the matter? They're just a fun little sparkly bit that's not near as expensive, you know, as what a lot of the other stuff is. What else do we got in here? Snitzel, get out of my hair. These things. Let's see if I can grab it. Oh, the pressure is on. Here we go. There are also these. And they're just like these little swirly shapes that would be very easy to tack down. But I thought, oh my gosh, it's like streamers, confetti streamers. New Year Fairy. Oh my God. Be perfect for her, you know, by Nora Corbett. But, you know, who knows? I mean, any kind of birthday or celebration kind of design. I mean, oh, that'd be so fun. I mean, it's just this little tiny shiny thing, but it could really add some pop, you know, some dimension and interest. So, you know, I had to get that bucket just to see what was all in there. They got leaves. They got other different shapes. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, the possibilities are endless, you know, you just have to use imagination for it. But, oh, Snitzel, you're being naughty. But you're purring and, yeah, being naughty. Anyway, you can see my other two over there. They've already crashed on the bed, but Snitzel's still... Snitzel's being Snitzel, aren't you? Anyway... so you can see I don't have a whole lot of stitchy progress going on. What little bit I was able to do was for the King Cedric, and so far he's stitching up. He's been a lot of fun. My new software. I should probably mention the new software. Oh my God. It is so flippin' amazing. I am very, very excited about it because it's let me not only chart out the beads like a normal chart looks, which, oh my God, that is huge to me because I love working with the beads and stuff. No more converting this color means this bead in real life. No more of that. It's straightforward. This symbol is this bead, this thread, everything. It's amazing, and I am very excited because it frees me up to just do stuff instead of constantly having to think about what it is I'm actually doing, so that everybody else isn't getting all screwed up and confused and stuff like that. So, yikes. I am so glad to have that part behind. So as of today, September 12th, King Cedric is in this format. Pocket Watch Pixie has also been transferred into this format. I still need to transfer over Hexus and Every Which Way into this new program. But the way to do that is you have to entirely rechart it, so it takes some time. So I appreciate if people were patient to let me get everything into there. Future designs will be using this program, so it's going to be wonderful. Large print for reading the directions, because as a stitcher myself, I like to, you know, have my stuff sitting there and just look at it, Snitzel, to just look at it and go about it. I don't like having to pick up the instructions and having to read it and then put it back down, pick up my needle. You know, I mean, I don't have a lot of time to stitch, so I like to save as much time as I can. So for these, it's a large print, you know, you can read what color you need. Yeah, I mean, and depending on your vision, of course, but I've put the instructions in large print so that it's easy to see from a greater distance, you know. And I'm hoping that proves helpful for other people. So that's something that I'm really excited about. But mostly I'm excited about the beads feature, just because they look like normal symbols on a chart and I don't have to fuss around with converting and letting everyone know about it. It is what it is. It's cut and dry. I love that. So anyway, this afternoon now that it's Monday, everybody's back to school. Hubs is at the job, and the in-laws are, I think they're in town today, so I actually have a few hours, so I'm going to see if I can get some more done on King Cedric, and then I plan to also enjoy some company of other FlossTubers, because that's my treat now, is FlossTube and stitching, and yeah. And then after I get my fix, then I'm going to start working on Hexus and getting her recharted over. So it's going to be a busy, full day, but I am very much looking forward to spending some time with yous. And yeah, I miss yous. But hopefully it's just a temporary thing, and once this new program is like second nature, it's not going to take me very long at all, and you know, hopefully great things will come from it. We'll see. We'll see. So in the meantime, I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm looking forward to joining you on your channels. So shout out also that I want to do Nadine. Thank you, Nadine, for posting up pictures of Hexus Arachnus. She's beating me. she's just flying through that project, and I have yet to get caught up. Because, yeah, her needles are burning away. So, she looks good, Nadine. Thank you. The curiosity was killing me as well. I wanted to see what her face looked like in actual thread. So, kudos to you. And also, I want to thank everybody who's been so supportive of this whole adventure, you know, even through the growing pains and everything else. So, you know, thank you. Y'all are awesome, and I really, truly appreciate it. I wish I could just bundle everybody together in a great big building and we'd have a party and just stitch all day. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be so awesome. But maybe someday. Anyway, I better get to my day. Now that the kittens are quiet, I might get some stitching without anybody trying to chase my thread. So I better take advantage of the opportunity. So I will see you all again. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, and